This video is about the String Quartet No. 14, Spring Quartet by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. I will explain the most important things about the work and the composer. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was born in Salzburg on January 27, 1756, and showed extraordinary musical talent from an early age. Throughout his career, he created a wealth of works that covered almost all musical genres of his time, including operas, symphonies, concertos, and chamber music. Mozart died in Vienna on December 5, 1791, but his influence on music history remains immeasurable to this day. The String Quartet No. 14 in G major, K. 387, known as the Spring Quartet, was composed in late 1782 and is the first of 6 quartets that Mozart dedicated to Joseph Haydn. This dedication was a significant gesture, as Haydn was greatly admired by Mozart and was considered the leading quartet composer of the time. The Spring Quartet is characterized by its lyrical lightness, structural elegance, and a wealth of musical ideas. The Spring Quartet marks a turning point in Mozart's compositional style, exhibiting greater formal sophistication and emotional depth than many of his earlier quartets. It consists of 4 movements: Allegro vivace assai, Menuetto, Allegro, Andante cantabile, and Molto Allegro. The first movement, Allegro vivace assai, begins with a lively and cheerful theme that immediately creates an atmosphere of youthful vitality and optimism. The musical language is clear and accessible, with rich thematic development and a lively dialogue between the instruments. This movement shows Mozart's ability to combine complex structures with seemingly effortless melodic grace. The Menuetto, Allegro, is another example of Mozart's mastery of traditional forms. This movement has an elegant, dance-like character, interrupted by a contrasting trio that introduces a more lyrical and intimate mood. The precision and clarity of musical phrasing in this movement are typical of Mozart's style. In the third movement, Andante cantabile, Mozart unfolds a deep emotional range within a calm and reflective atmosphere. The music flows gently, with a singing melody played by the strings in a manner reminiscent of a human voice. This movement is an excellent example of Mozart's ability to convey profound emotions through a subtle and nuanced musical language. The final movement, Molto Allegro, brings the quartet to a vigorous and lively conclusion. This movement is rhythmically and melodically complex, with a fast tempo that challenges the musician's virtuosity. The interaction between the instruments is intense, showing the joy and technical skill that make Mozart's chamber music so special. In this string quartet, Mozart treats the 4 instruments, 2 violins, viola, and cello, as equal partners, interwoven in a constant musical conversation. The equality and dialogue between the instruments are central to the character of the quartet and reflect Mozart's democratic view of musical form and expression. The Spring Quartet was composed during a particularly productive period of Mozart's life in Vienna. It is one of the 6 quartets that Mozart dedicated to Haydn, as a sign of his admiration and in recognition of the inspiration he received from Haydn's own quartets. The exact details of the premiere are not known, but the quartets quickly became part of the standard repertoire after their publication.